right? So I remember everything that your listening ear, all of that played a part in me being able to. Remember, I came to you and I said, "Girl, I was in this hair store getting my hair, and I seen this lady. She had tattoos on her head, but it was so pretty. I'm gonna go bald business and get tattoos on my hair." Remember I said
Yes.
this? And what did you? Do you remember what you said to me?
No.
You said, "Go ahead, girl. It'll look good on you." And that encouragement that you gave me every time I sat in your chair, it was everything to me. It helped me to accept and come into who I am, and encouraged me. It built my self-esteem even, because yes, when your hair fall out, your self-esteem going with it.
Right.
I don't care how strong you are. When as a woman, when your hair falls out,
that's
your self-esteem is saying bye bye.
I have a question for you, McQueen.
Yes.
When you were losing your hair and when you was experiencing the itching and the burning, were you wearing weaves? Because there's a myth that it's weaves and relaxers that's causing the alopecia.
First of all, I must say this. I went years without weaves because I didn't go to a beautician because I had 3 little children. I ain't have time to do it. I had to take care of my babies. So I was doing my own hair. I didn't have nothing going on with my hair. And then even I stopped wearing the relaxers because I felt like it was
the relaxer.
It was the relaxer. I felt like it was so.
This spelled myth number 1. Go
it's
ahead.
It's not. I started wearing braids.
Okay.
All the time. And then because my hair would itch with the braids in it. It's not the braids. Did you
have a migraine headache?
Oh my God, I had horrible migraines. I had, as a matter of fact, after I had my last child in 2008, my blood pressure went up, and my migraines worsened after that. And I didn't have high blood pressure for a few months after I had my baby. My blood pressure went up, and all my hair fell out again. And it had grew because I was pregnant. It had grew longer. My hair would grow from boyish hair to bob in 9 months.
Wow.
So it wasn't, my hair didn't have a problem growing. In 9 months,
and there was no chemical, you didn't wear
because when I was pregnant, my grandma, I was raised by my grandma. My grandma, you can't wear perms when you're pregnant. So
right.
Yes. You can't wear perms when you're pregnant. You know, that's what old people say. So when I was pregnant, I didn't wear perms. And then I was thinking, well, maybe it's growing because I'm not wearing the perms.
Right.
And then, but then why is it falling out? Nobody educated me on what was going on with my hair. And even when I went to a dermatologist, they just said, they did a biopsy, and they just said, it's just alopecia. They didn't tell me what to do. I didn't know what.
Did they tell you what type?
They probably did, but I don't remember because it was so long ago. But they didn't tell me what to do. Then they wanted to do this. They wanted to give me shots in my scalp, and I said, hell no. I'm not doing shots in my scalp because I don't do needles. I don't even like needles. First of all, that just sounded a bit evasive to me to be getting shots under my skin and my scalp. And I had heard people who had done it in my family because this is something that runs in my family. And I had heard people who had done it in my family, and they was like, well, it is painful. And I'm like, so is your hair coming back? Because I don't want to go through all this pain and my hair ain't coming back.
So let's talk about that. The itching, the burning. So many women are suffering in silence. Dealing with this type, and it's one of the worst forms of alopecia, the CCCA. What's happening is it's an inflammatory response from the internal terrain of the body. This is not topical, and most the treatment approach is antibiotics. Sometimes high blood pressure medicine is they're gonna give you a doxycycline. They're gonna put these painful injections in your scalp, and then it doesn't work. And then after maybe 6 months to a year, they just say, hey, it's genetics. And then just shave your hair off and embrace that. But topical solutions does not correct if your thyroid is off. Topical solutions does not correct if you have a gut imbalance, and especially stress. Stress can cause inflammatory. If the body is already compromised, what was happening was the stress and in stress, the body uses sugar to create the cortisol hormone. And wet sugar equals inflammation. So the body is already compromised. It's only going to take one little small stressful blow to the body. And now the immune system, which 90% of that is in the gastrointestinal system, And if your gut is off, then it's going to throw the immune system off. So now it's going to send out these cells to help protect the body. And usually at the top of the scalp, we have which called androgen receptors. And with the type of hair loss you had, when anytime DHT, which was it was two types. So you have a primary and a secondary hair loss. Yours started off as like a female pattern, and then because it wasn't corrected, it transferred over to the CCCA. Okay. So anytime we have androgen receptors in the top of the scalp. Anytime that combines with, you guys ever heard of DHT, dihydrotestosterone, which is a very high potent form of testosterone, and it combines with 5-alpha reductase, which is an enzyme. So when those two combine together and they attach to the receptors in the top of the scalp, that's when we get the mineralization. So first start off with the thinning, and then if it doesn't get corrected, then it turns into that secondary, which is the CCCA. Mm-hmm. So I would just want to talk a little bit. Does that make clarity?
It does.
And so let's talk about the emotions that are associated with these hair loss. So every organ is vibrating on an emotion, you know? And so one of the things, Iris and I have had a conversation before. One of the systems that we identified was the gastrointestinal system. Mm-hmm. And that's where a person can feel hopeless and helpless, you know, it's trauma. And trauma creates sugar, inflammation, and then that's when we get the CCTA. So now let's talk about your inspiration. You know, now that you migrated through this journey, the inspiration to actually go ahead and, because we used to do quick weeks, all kind of different styles. And I'm like, Iris, you would look so nice if you just rock your hair. So this is a segue you into becoming an author, being an advocate for women and their health. And so let's talk about that, Queen.
Well, I came today, like, I have on no makeup, no, this lip gloss, just something, I don't have no dry lip